Hello everyone! Welcome back to another 2v2 Warhammer battle. I am taking Norska. My ally is the Greenskins versus a double Chaos army. For my army, we just have a bunch of Marauder Berserkers because they are one of the best things Norska has. They trade super well with, like, literally, well, not literally, almost every single unit, infantry-wise, that is in the game, including even Chaos Warriors. Which there are going to be a lot of in this battle. Besides them, we have two Feral Mammoths. I also brought our good friend Wolfric the Wanderer on a chariot this time. Back here we have two Familiar Warriors with great weapons, and then a Shaman of Death back there as well with just a Spear Leech and a Fate Abuna. Over here, my ally has 5 Vanguard deployed Forest Goblin Spider Rider Archers, and then a Vanguard deployed Goblin Wolf Rider. Then back here they have 2 Giants, 2 Goblin Big Bosses being led by an Orc War Boss, 3 Orc Boar Boys, not big ones, just Boar Boys, and then 2 Savage Orcs. I should say this is being played on a medium unit size, so things are going to be a little bit squishy. Then over here for the bad guys, the bad people, we have Chosen with Halberds, and then this is all going to be a bunch of Chaos Warriors. Then over here we have Chaos Marauders, and then an Aspiring Champion, I think 2 of them mixed in here, and then 3 Chaos Marauders. And then Archaon is going to be over here unmounted. Then we have a group of Mirror Guard back here, 3 Hell Cannons, including the Renowned one, a group of Gore Beast Chariots, and then Kolek Sun Eater and a Dragon Ogre Shaggoth. And way out here we have some Chosen that I believe is going to be Archaon's team. Archaon brought 2 Hell Cannons, Kolek's team brought the Renowned Cannon, and this unit. I think this is basically Kolek's team. And then I think maybe the Chariots. And then everything else is going to be the other Chaos player, including these Chosen out here. So, the Forest Goblin Spider Rider Archers are firing into the Chaos Warriors, which have a really high block chance and very high armor, so they're basically taking no damage right now. In response, we have Hell Cannons that are basically taking these things out in like a single hit. Then you can see Kolek and a Shaggoth came out here to try and get them away, I guess. Now, you could do this. You could send all your Berserkers into their front line, which is exactly what they want you to do, or you could just be like, hey man, it's cool, you can stay there, we're just gonna go around your line and try and kill the Hell Cannons. So that's what I'm gonna try and do, because this player clearly wants me to attack from the front, but I'm just gonna attack from the side. Over here we discover the Chosen with Halberds, so I'm just gonna be like, well, let's just pull these guys back, and then we will engage with the Berserkers. I'm going to hit him with the Fate Abuna, and then throw in our Feral Mammoths again, but because this is on medium sizes, these Chosen with Halberds are going to get wrecked. Look at that one hit, took him down to half. Because it's not like the damage is nerfed in medium unit size, just your hit points. So you die so fast. It is seriously like an arcade version of this game. Honestly, even on large sizes, like, it's still kind of arcadey. But yeah, this Chosen unit just gets destroyed super quickly. Meanwhile, the Archaon player is going to take most of their forces and do a slow march back here. Meanwhile, me and my ally, we're just going to plunge ourselves right into this flank with everything we've got. And these Chaos Warriors are going to be kind of slow to react. You can see the enemy are pulling their Hell Cannons away from us, but they're a little bit slower than Marauder Berserkers. And I have marched literally my entire army around the side, because why would I engage against the Chaos Warriors if they're not even going to move? Meanwhile, over here, Wolfric has cast his debuff on Kolek. We're going to get our 2 Feral Mammoths on them, and then we're going to send in our 2 Familiar Warriors with great weapons over there as well. We're going to Spirit Leech Kolek on top of this, and then 2 Giants are on Kolek as well. Like, most of our big units are over here on Kolek and the Shaggoth. So we are taking it to Kolek right now. Meanwhile, we have 2 Berserkers going over here. One's going to get this Renowned unit, and then I notice it looks like these 3 Chaos Warriors are all assigned to attack this Berserker, so I'm just going to be like, woo, and we're just going to lead them on a chase, and they're going to ignore these Marauder Berserkers who are taking out the Soul of Damnation. There we go. Kolek is now down because there are 2 Giants, 2 Mammoths, and Familiar Warriors right there to take him down, so it's super quick. And now we're going to turn our attention to the Dragon Ogre Shaggoth, as my ally is going to march down the rest of, well, I was going to say the rest of the enemy infantry, but they've already kind of mostly died against all these Orc Boar Boys. I'm going to run through with Wolfric the Wanderer. Again, he is on a chariot. I did a lot of good damage to another Chaos Warrior with Wolfric over here. And now we're going to go over here. This Berserker is going to hold off these 2 Chosen who have come out of the field, or out of the forest, and they're going to also hold Archaon the Ever-Chosen. Meanwhile, we are still finishing off the Hell Cannon. Actually, I think we already did. Yeah, we finished off the 1 Hell Cannon. We're chasing this Gore Beast Chariot with our 2 Familiar Warriors with great weapons. We've killed the other Dragon Ogre Shaggoth, and we're just kind of running down the field, and only now does Archaon's Marauder Force kind of get towards us. They took so much time marching around this little cliffside here that they're a little late to the party. Now the Giants are going to be dealing with them over there. Meanwhile, I'm still going to be trying to focus against the Hell Cannons over on this side. You can see with the Marauder Berserkers. Being supported by the Orc War Boys, who are going to come over here and fight against the Chosen as well. And we have routed off this group of Chaos Warriors with Wolfric just kind of going through on his chariot. We did a couple hits with the Feral Mammoths, and then the Berserkers are just really good, as they always are. And now we're just going to continue chasing down the hill. We're going to get into these Chosen with the Feral Mammoths. Archaon's going to do their best against the Orc Boar Boys and the Savage Orcs that are over there. And again, all of the Marauder Inspired Champions now dealing with 2 Giants, and I'm going to throw in my Premier Warriors with great weapons. There isn't really any large forces over here, but there aren't any large forces over here either. And I thought that the Giants could maybe use a little extra help over there, because Premier Warriors are pretty good. Meanwhile, we have Archaon casting a Flame Skull, which did do some decent damage to our Berserker unit right there. But our Feral Mammoths are going to do a lot of damage. The Boar Boys doing a lot of good damage. And then we're just going to get Wolfric down here. I did want to do a charge and use Mirror Guard that came back from rounding, but I was like, let's send him down here so we can cast debuff on Archaon. So we're going to cast debuff, and he's also being Spirit Leashed by my Shaman right now. There goes the debuff on him, and now I'm going to stick both of my Feral Mammoths on Archaon, the Ever Chosen. Meanwhile, the Marauders are just getting destroyed by the Orc War Boss, the Giants, and my Premier Warriors. They just had no chance against that. They were unsupported by anything else. And we are going to route Chaos off the field, off this nice little hill location over there. And let me tell you, this person, Red, was not happy about this loss. They let us know that they were very upset in, let's say, more aggressive and harsh language about us bringing what they called Lord Sniping units. So what they, of course, mean by that is that they ran Kolek Suneater into 2 Feral Mammoths, 2 Famir Warriors with great weapons, and 2 Giants by themselves. So, of course, you know, me and my ally Dawn, we suck because, you know, we had all those units there that are really good at killing Lords like Kolek, and then they ran Kolek over there by themselves. But, you know, it's on us. It's really on us for bringing that many big units that are really good at killing Kolek to the battlefield at once. It's my bad, really. Like, I should have just brought a bunch of, like, Chaos Marauders. Not Chaos Marauders. Just normal Marauders. Maybe a sprinkling of, like, 1 Javelin. No Mammoths. No units that can actually kill Lords. Because why would I bring that in a game where killing Lords is such a big deal? Why would you do that? I'm sorry, Red. I am so sorry for you running Kolek into that terrible situation that he should never have been in there by himself against so many hard, heavy hitters. I am sorry. This is my official apology. Can you hear my sarcasm? So Dawn, the Forest Goblin Spider Rider Archers, they lived to the very end. I'm not entirely sure how many kills they got. Well, okay. Actually, I am very sure how many kills they got. What I should say is how much damage they overall did in the battle, because that initial salvo, those those Chaos Warriors are like, are you serious? We have these giant shields. We have this thick armor. You're not really doing much to me. But I'm not entirely sure what they did after that, but I'm sure they did something. The Orc Boar Boys did some decent damage on their charge. They're all kind of grouped up. The Hero Squad, the Gone Big Boss, I think did a lot of good damage. And of course the Giants helped me kill Kolek and the Shaggoth. And they went off and murdered Marauders. For my army here, Berserk is really good. Obviously, Feral Mammoths are still really good. You don't necessarily need to upgrade them to War Mammoths. It's nice, but that's so expensive. It's so expensive, and they do the same amount of damage. It's just that the War Mammoths have the Javelin Throwers at the top if you want some extra anti-large damage, and they have higher leadership and armor, right? I think they have higher armor. But, I mean, you can get away with just using Feral Mammoths. It's fine. They're still going to hurt the enemy a lot. Let's see. For the enemy side, the Hell Cannon's got some decent damage on those Forest Goblin Spider Riders. But that's... Gorby's Chariot actually got some decent amount of kills, too, before we managed to snipe it down. But yeah, good game to Dawn, this very anchor player, and Kronex. And let's go watch a cinematic view. But yeah, like... These arrows don't do too... At least they do poison. So right now, the Chaos Warriors, they are poisoned. I'm sure they're feeling that. But yeah, those shields have such a high block chance. And they have such high armor that this really is not doing much. But it's cool to see this many Forest Goblin Spider Riders against Chaos. Probably not the best faction to bring all these. Because even Kolek has really high armor right now. Since that boof. Jesus. like, oh, well, let's just not engage these chosen with halberds with our Pharaoh Mammoths until we get other units in there. I didn't even need the Fate of Yuna. This Mammoth took him down to half in one hit. And they're just way out here on the flank by themselves. They just get massacred. I mean, look, we're just, like, we're basically close enough to high-five them, and they're not moving. So I'm like, okay, I got all the time in the world just to go around and go after those hell cannons. And then they're going to chase Wolfric. I'm like, I'm on a chariot, man. And look at all this stuff. Like, okay, let's pause it here. There are two situations in here, one good, one bad. If you are the red player, let's say, in this situation, and you're like, huh, that's weird, there's two giants, which are really good at killing lords, and then there's two mammoths that are really good at killing literally everything in this video game, except for if it flies. Until it lands on the ground, then they're really good at killing it. And then you have just Kolek and, you know, their cousin, this Dragon Ogre Shaggoth, coming. There are two situations. One, I would say, is a big X and a no-no, and one I will say, you know, a circle with a check mark through it. That's a weird check mark. Let's try that again. Check mark through it. The giant X is going to be what this player does and run them into all these Lord Killers. The check mark option out of here, the one that I give the big check, is when you go scoop-de-doop, and you just go like away from them with these two units. You can't fight all this by yourself. Not in this situation. Unfortunately for them, they're going to do the big old X one instead. Again, I'm sorry, Red. I'm sorry that you took this engagement. My bad. But thank you for letting me know how you felt about it. That is not a Wolfric chariot, that is a Gorby's chariot. That's a bad chariot. Hell, the Giants were even fighting them through most of this though too. Oh, there they go, there they go. Yeah, you're dead! That's what happens when you run in that situation. By yourself. Go figure.
On my way.
Kolek's not invincible, who knew? Oh, that big belly. That big beer belly. Bye, Shaggoth.
Bring us to carnage! Make it loading! Very well.
I believe this is Wolfric? Yeah, that's Wolfric. I'm hitting these Chaos Warriors with Fate of Unit because there are no other real good units to hit it with at this point.
Charge them! Your will! Deliver slaughter! Give us guarded! Drag us to the souls! Make it waste no time! Faster! Our blades harder!
This Flaming Skull actually follows a pretty decent path to kill a lot of my Berserkers, or at least do damage to them. Like, it was kind of a perfect path. And it goes right around their own Chosen. You never see that. You rarely see that. Oh, Wolfric's back. And there we go. So thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the battle. I will see you all next time. Take care.